Give me another grape.
We're wrestling buddies. Got Perry Wayne over there. Perry Wayne, say hello.
Hello.
I'm
Good
Adam.
afternoon,
It's not quite
all of you
afternoon
out
yet.
there
We're close though.
with dime roll necks and
Dime roll
spindly little
decks.
legs.
Yeah, little spinning the leg. Give me another grape. Um, uh, got a big weekend. We got Stand and Deliver is in a couple of hours. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, and of course, WrestleMania weekend is upon us in the home of the Raiders, Las Vegas.
7
Good
p.m.
SmackDown last
kickoff.
night. Did you
7
like
p.m.
SmackDown last
kickoff.
night? Huh?
It's a 7 p.m. Eastern kickoff, right?
Yep. So 6 p.m. Central our time. Um, they said it's going to be 9 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, that was my next question. Is how much are we
I
getting?
don't think that's the WrestleMania. Both WrestleManias equal 9 hours. I think it's Stand and Deliver in both WrestleManias that equal 9 hours. So I think we'll get 3 hours, 3.5 hours on night one and night two. So there wasn't a lot of I don't know. The matches didn't end in ways that we would want to see on SmackDown. I guess Nick Aldis owns the tag titles, even though the Street Profits did not lose them, but he did take them and walked
Right.
away. But we're going to get a TLC match, I guess, next Friday, but that's going to be put on the back burner until after WrestleMania. So, but it was a good SmackDown. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cute how they incorporated a two that I noticed, two WrestleMania traditions, and basically they're not in WrestleMania, but they're still a part of the quote unquote season. Okay, baby. Give me 2 minutes.
But yeah, so the both we got a few tie-ins with the TLC, and then we got the Naomi Jade of it all tying it into Bianca's triple threat match for Io Sky's Women's World Championship.
Uh,
Even in the scrum, she was left out.
yeah. I don't. I hope Io Sky wins. I don't. She's never. You never say never, but
Well, I think this is just a way to put her as an equal, and I think that's what they're kind of trying to do to bring all these women up as equal to Rhea and Bianca in that fashion where it's obvious Rhea and Bianca are the top dogs. Charlotte, of course, is one of the top dogs. I'd say Bailey is, but Bailey's kind of fluid on how she can she could be a top dog and then go for the Intercontinental Championship, and now she's going for this Women's Tag Championship.
yeah, she's
Kind of same with Liv.
hella versatile with
Yeah.
regard to her ability to be anywhere on the card and deliver.
So let's run through the card, and then as we run through the card, we can talk about the storylines leading up to each. We don't have to go full thesis paper on it, but we can we can talk about the build of each individual or individuals as they come in. Um, so the first match that we got, let me pull up the card. Um, night one. I gotta pull up the card. Do you have the card?
Yeah.
So okay, well, night one of WrestleMania, leading off is Jay Gunther. I'm pretty sure that's what I think they announced that last night.
Yep.
So, I guess Gunther's amazing. Gunther makes everybody look good in the ring. Gunther looks great in the ring. And I guess there's this. It's almost like Jay's super over as a character from his charisma and his interactions with the crowd and the love that he gets everybody hyped up. Gunther, people praise him because of his in-ring work and how great he is uh, pacing a match and getting us focused and our eyeballs locked in when he's in that ring competing. And then that's kind of how they're polar opposites, but you know, leading this match was kind of tough. They kind of put themselves in a little tough place, being as Royal Rumble was what, February 6th, I think. Um, so they had a long time to build this, and it did get a little snail's pace, but they picked up with the bleeding of Jimmy and the bathing of Jimmy's blood that Gunther did,
Yeah,
and
it was fantastic. Like you said, it was a long build. Um, yeah, and there you may have been concerned about it getting stagnant, but I don't think it did. And I think before it could get stale, again they were brawling and bathing in blood and no more yeets and Gunther's ability to sell how pissed off Jay was, what it meant to him. Also, like it's a very important and relevant match on the card for sure. I thought the build was just fine.
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is that I'm always going to preach patience. Like things may slow down, but that's just a break. That's a break in the trailers that they're showing leading up to this main event feature. Uh, they have these little mini episodes, and then we got the penultimate episode of the bathing in blood, and then we got, you can combine them as the season finale or whatever, or you can combine the penultimate episodes of Jimmy being bloodied, Jay coming out next week, and just cutting that promo. You talk to your mom, you know,
Right.
and then Gunther the following week, cutting probably one of his best promos that I've heard from him. Um, whether that be, a great promo just touting himself, or a great promo where it's like, this emotion that he is showing, is he starting to be a little concerned about his reign as a world champion? We'll see. But the match is here, and I think it says everything that it leads night one of WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. It either needed to be the first match or the last match, and I throw no shade at it being the first match. That's a perfect way to kick off. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they want to start the crowd off hot with some yeets, I think, and I think Jay's going to win.
I think Jay's going to win too. Um, I'm interested to see how he finishes. I'm interested to see if because he's been doing a lot of interviews and he's been talking. The feedback from the internet and from the world is that he has maybe potentially a limited move set and whatnot. So it'd be real nice to see him get in there and bust out some new tricks. And again, I'm interested to see the finish. Maybe we get a peek at Sami Zayn before, after Roman before, after at some point. That's
Hype
coming at
man,
some
little
point in
hype
some
man
way,
action,
huh?
little hype man action from Sammy. I think that's what we'll
Yeah.
see. I mean, there's been a few things that we've spoken about offline. One being the Sami Zayn of it all, and excuse me, bringing back, you know, that Monday Night Raw. I believe, I can't remember if it was Raw or SmackDown, when they were in Montreal, and Jay exited through the crowd, walked through the concourse, went outside as he was talking to the camera, and there's Sammy staring up at the arena that they're at. And Sammy talks about how he's seen so many matches in this arena and concerts and probably Canadian NHL games, and that one shot following Sammy back in. And I think we get something similar to that with Sammy, where we get Sammy just hyping up Jay before this, and giving him that last little, like, you can do this, man. You can do this. And I think that's a perfect use for Sammy in this moment, because Sammy, he has that charisma, where, and that energy, that, especially when he's side by side with the Usos,
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
he
He's
gets
the break
something out of
master.
them, whether it's trying to break them with being funny, or getting them upset by, with the KO of it all at the time, hitting him with the chair. But there's something to be said about the chemistry that they have uh, when they're speaking to one another.
Oh, give me the finish. Predict does he win with a splash, or I'm sure it'll probably be a sequence or something, or Does he?
This being the first match, I think we're going to get a pretty hefty time limit on the match. And like I said, like we've discussed before, I think this is going to be kind of a snubbing of the nose, if you will, to the people who are dissing Jay when it comes to his quality of work in the ring. We'll say, I mean, if you got 5 moves, do those 5 moves, great. But I think Jay and Gunther have probably been practicing on the mat in the background, getting ready for this. And I think we're going to see some stuff that Jay has maybe not done before. Real quick, something interesting. And I'm going to bring up another podcast. Something interesting was when Jay had his interview with the Mass Men show, and a cool thing that they were doing with each of their interviews is that they had their like first matches uh, playing in front of them while they were doing the interview. And the crazy thing was is that as Jay was watching his first match, he was talking about how when they were in OVW, him and Jimmy had only been in OVW for like 4 to 5 months. So that was developmental back then.
Right.
So he did, and then they were boom on the main card after that 4 to 5 months. So he didn't those 5 moves that he had is because Jay's basically been on the main card for
Ever.
16 years,
Right.
15, 16 years.
Mhm.
So I do think that maybe I think Jay and Gunther have probably been in the lab coming up with a great match, which isn't hard against Gunther, like I've said. And I think we're gonna see some stuff that we haven't seen before from Jay. And I think Jay, how's he gonna win? I don't know. Maybe he can take something from Gunther's uh, repertoire, where Gunther will do like clothesline, power bomb, splash, sleeper, like all in unison. And maybe we get something like that from Jay, where we get, super kick, spear, splash from Jay to win it all. Just that sequence of finishers to
Yeah.
uh to win the
Okay.
match. But I
Okay.
mean, I think we're gonna have tons of near falls. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna see some
Is
of
there
some.
blood in this match?
That's a possibility considering we saw blood. I don't know. I think they just used the blood to pick this story up. I think maybe they saved the blood for particular matches like the street fight. I don't think we'll see blood in this match. Maybe not on purpose. If there's accidental blood, there's accidental blood. But what do you think? Who do you got?
I got Jay. I got Jay, and I think it'll be a sequence of finishers, like you said. I don't. Uh, that'd be cute if he won via the sleeper, via like powerbomb sleeper or like a haluva kick or something. But it just like let him.
Pulls out a Samoan spike.
Yeah, yeah. If he pull, yeah, some Samoan shenanigans would be neat. But
Like he does rock
I,
bottom Samoan spike
yes,
spear.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, and
that'd be cool.
Superman punch. Just
Yeah.
use everything Samoan, like 25 headbutts.
Yeah, he just the power of my family.
That'd be awesome. Um, but no, I think Jay wins, and that's I don't know if this is going to be the first of a series of matches with him and Gunther. If they have other plans for Gunther, if this is a slow segue back to a bloodline angle or not. But my guess is it's probably everything that I just said, but
Just
at a
keep an open
pace that
mind.
is difficult to anticipate.
Yeah, I, I'll be patient.
Yeah,
You
for
tell
sure.
me the story. I'll be patient and wait for the story. I got time. So what's
Who's
next?
next?
Yeah, no, you got the card. I don't have the card.
Okay. After Gunther J, we've got War Raiders New Day.
You go ahead and start this.
I think
The build.
the New Day gets booed. I think the New Day or the War Raiders, one of them may have a like a big special either celebrity sung entrance or some big dramatic entrance. One of them. I definitely think the New Day gets basically booed out of the building. especially if they have any type of run in on the pre-show, which will start either 2 or 3 hours, I'm assuming, before WrestleMania, and we'll get on there and make sure we're tracking that. But I think the New Day just gets the shit booed out of them, and I think the War Raiders come in and do what the War Raiders do: heavy, high impact, crazy big boy shit, and ultimately, I think the New Day wins. It will with the smoke and the heat they got after basically turning heel. This will basically throw kerosene on that fire because it happened a few months ago, and so that fire hasn't gone out, but it hasn't gotten any bigger. They can throw kerosene on that fire if they book it in the way that I'm predicting, and Big E either before on the pre-show or hopefully not during, but maybe, well, during wouldn't bother me, but some kind of something with Big E, whether it's pre-show, during the match, or after. And I'd be interested to see what that looks like. Big E's Everybody loves Big E, but what if he joins them on this heel run, or what if he comes out and
I don't think he'll join him. I think, yeah, I think if we get the Big E of it all, if we get him involved whatsoever, I think it'll either be pre-show, like when he's doing his thing with Wade Barrett and Peter Rosenberg and all them. Maybe New Day shows up. Maybe we get a hint of physicality that Big E may do something. Or when you were talking about, their entrances, New Day comes out first. They're getting booed heavily, and then their music ends, and then we hear, "Oh, Las Vegas!
yeah.
Don't you dare be sour. Please clap for your world tag team champions, the War Raiders." Like he introduces them. Like that would be, I think that would be pretty cool. And that would kind of,
uh,
put even more heat on the New Day. But yeah, I think the match will be good. Both of these teams are pros, very different teams, obviously. One's very big and athletic, and the other are, bigger than us and athletic. Um, but I think the New Day will win, and I think they'll do it in true schmarmy heel fashion with, you know, getting the refs' attention somewhere else, maybe some hits to the genitalia, maybe some roll up and holding of the tights, foot on the ropes type stuff. I think the New Day will win, and they'll win in a fashion that is not the norm for their other title reigns. I think that's what we'll see, but I do think the New Day will come out on top, and then hopefully we see you know some cool stuff with their story afterwards. But we'll see.
well,
What's
I
next?
mean,
Go ahead.
we could just call him and ask him. Remember, you had that phone conversation with Big E, didn't you?
Yeah, Wayne called me, what, 2016,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, I'm here at this tribute to the troops. I got someone that wants to talk to you," and it was the New Day, and I got to talk to him for like 3 or 4 minutes. It was really cool, and I was kind of like,
Yeah.
hi."
I was like best friend ever when I got off the phone. I was like, you win the day, Wayne.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was great. And Kevin Owens was there too. He was a jerk, but that's because he was supposed to be.
Hey, get well soon, Kevin.
Yeah, for real. Get well, buddy. Um, all right, so we're on the New Day train. Next, Jade versus Naomi.
Yeah, I liked what they did last night, tying the Jade and Naomi into the Bianca and her triple threat match of it all. Bianca was getting some boos. I think we're gonna see her. Okay, we'll save that for later. But Jade and Naomi, this is the first women's match, first one-on-one, no stipulation women's match in WrestleMania history, and I think that's a really big deal. Um, and I think the reason it's a big deal is because a lot of the chatter about when Jade came from AEW was that, she's kind of like a Goldberg. Like she's got her set moves that she does. She wins in dominating fashion, but she's really not that good in the ring. And we, and I think we've seen her get better in the ring. Yes, there was this long hiatus because Naomi pushed her into a car windshield, but I think this being this the fact that this is the first one-on-one women's match with no stipulation and no title, that's what makes it the first of its kind, is that there's no title involved. I think we're going to actually get a really solid one-on-one match. Um, Naomi's a really good dance partner. I think she's going to get
Yes.
everything out of Jade that she can get, and I think I think Jade wins because I don't think this is going to be over after WrestleMania. I think Jade wins, and I think Naomi's going to not not have that. You know,
I think Jade wins as well because this does not, there the months and months and months of Jade being on the show, basically the build to this, does not lend itself to a one and done, in my opinion. So yeah, I think this continues, and they're flirting with it like they did on SmackDown by bringing them out the way they did and incorporating them into the other stuff that the other ladies had going on. So yeah, this does not. We're not done. Jade will get her WrestleMania moment, and Naomi will get to operate at WrestleMania in a capacity that she has never done so before, and happy for both of them.
yeah.
Especially,
I think
especially happy
Naomi
for
has had a
Naomi. This
title
is
match
great.
at WrestleMania before. I think
And
she's
I think Naomi carries this match. She's coming in as the veteran, as the heel, and it's a singles match, singles grudge match. Like this is not something, um, typically Naomi operates in the tag realm, or she just. This is probably Naomi's biggest WrestleMania match.
we'll have to do some research on that because I think she's defended her title, like the women's championship at WrestleMania before.
Yeah, and I caught myself when I was saying that. I was like, did she win the title at WrestleMania?
I don't think she won the title at WrestleMania, but I I think Jade and Bianca being shown in the ring with Io, Rhea, and Bianca, I think there that there's a reason why they showed them. Yes, to tie the story into Bianca, and well,
Uh,
actually re-tie in the story, but also to be like, hey, these are five women that are on the same level now. You know, like there's a reason that just because they're not in a championship match doesn't mean that they're not up here. And I think that WWE wants to have that where we have legitimate title contenders, and it's not just. And I'm not saying this in a disparaging ring that it's not just Bianca and Rhea all the time. That's why Io's been left out with their interactions. You know, and I think bringing Naomi and Jade out there, they're saying like, hey,
for sure.
be prepared for these women to be here as well. You know, so. But yeah, we both got Jade. What's next?
All right. What I want to do, Adam, is I want to. This is all right. This is basically for editing purposes. This is a pause. This is a transition. I'm literally going to go fill up my ginger ale and come right back, but it's going to be like a 30, 45, 60-second thing so that when I get in here or we get in here, we can figure out how to mesh, because it's not always going to be just one continuous recording. You know what I'm saying?
Do you want me to literally push pause right now? Yeah. All right, I'm pushing pause. All right, welcome back. All right. What's Rey Mysterio El Grande Americano?
Uh, yeah.
Is there any chance that Rey Mysterio doesn't wrestle in this match? Because they were tending to him in SmackDown afterwards. Do we get like a Rey Phoenix substitution here?
I don't think it's clean. I don't think this. I think you could get a Ray Phoenix, um, or Dragon Lee, or I think Ray Phoenix is probably the guy though. But
That'd be
I,
twice
I
that.
think that's after the match. I think El Grande Americano is probably going to win, and I think the shenanigans that ensue after he wins, and obviously the loaded mask will probably be. incorporated in that. But what ensues after the match is what'll bring everybody out. It'll just turn into a circus.
Yeah, I'm not. I know that this El Grande Americano thing is it's easy. It's easy cheap heat, like, and that's fine. I'm not a fan of it. I don't
It's
like it.
cringy, is what it
It's
is.
yeah, it's.
It's so cringe.
But what I am, I think we're gonna see a good luchador match
Oh yeah,
because I don't know about Chad Gable, but it looks like El Grande Americano can can do some
go.
luchador type stuff. So,
Yes, they're gonna get after it. I don't.
do you think we see a reveal of who El Grande is?
No,
We
no,
don't.
he's too new. Like
It's too early.
we don't need that. We need that. It depends on how long they want El Grande Americano around. Like you could lean into this forever, like they did last night when Chad Gable was out there in the battle royal and got thrown out, and then
Hi, Ray Phoenix,
8 minutes later, El Grande Americano shows up. Like you can just,
and
it's
attacks
like
Ray Phoenix, who threw out Chad Gable.
yeah, it's it's like this weird Doink the Clown thing they've got going on. Um,
They are in Vegas.
yeah,
That's what happened at WrestleMania 9 in Vegas, where a fake Doink
Mhm.
started the
That's right.
match, and then against Crush, and then
That's
the real
right.
Doink came out and replaced him. Maybe we do see something like that. Maybe we
Isn't that
actually,
when he tore
maybe
his
we do
leg
that.
off?
Maybe someone El Grande Americano's out there, and maybe he gets disqualified because Chad Gable comes in and intervenes and takes out El Grande Americano. Oh, that would be wild. I would. That would be. That would be. I would be a fan of that. That would be. That
Yeah.
would pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. That'd be funny.
No, I think
What's the next one?
El Grande Americano's going to win. Rey
I don't know.
Mysterio.
I'm going with that Ray wins because of Chad Gable interference
Okay.
with
Okay.
El Grande Americano. That's what I'm going with.
You
Rey
know,
Mysterio wins by DQ.
props props for anyone who can antagonize Chad Gable or El Grande Americano to the point where they just well, I got to go find another gimmick. I'm going to go to New Japan Wrestling or something and figure out Shinsuke's strong style or something.
Yeah. We got
Um,
let's move on to the WWE Women's Championship. We got the champion, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Much like or similar to the Jay Gunther build. This one took a little bit because, Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, so it took some time, but it definitely picked up pace over these last few weeks.
it
Um,
certainly has very very good build. Um, this match is different from obviously these matches can go any number, 1,000 different ways, but if you were looking at what the lines or consensus online, I would say that Jay is the heavy favorite.
oh, yeah.
This match for me is split, and I'm going to bet that the internet is similar to that. Um, Charlotte here to put Tiffany over so Tiffany can ascend into the big leagues and get built as the next big. Um, you
Or
know,
can you do that by, can that be done by Charlotte winning or Charlotte losing? I think you could do, I think Tiffany, I think Tiffany could get over. I mean, she's over. Her mic work does need some work, um, which will come. She's you can't debate that she's not great in the ring. I mean, she's phenomenal in the ring. She is so good in the ring. Um, I kind of want to see Tiffany win, and the reason being is because I want to see an evolution of the Charlotte character because I don't think we've really seen any nuance in her character in quite some time, and I think we saw an inkling of that with her coming out to beat down Tiffany in jeans and a shirt,
hmm
and not out there in this glam outfit. I want to see a little spiraling which that is going to be a theme for me as we talk about other matches coming up. I want to see a spiraling or a not self doubt, maybe not spiraling, but I want to see some. I would just want to see some evolution of Charlotte's character. Right, like okay, you're the queen. You're the greatest. You're the greatest women's
Well,
wrestler in WWE history.
is Charlotte
Okay,
back full
but what else
time,
are you?
or is she back in the capacity if she's gonna part time it? You know, she
It doesn't matter if she's full time or part time. You can still show an evolution of your character by
that is true. That
so
is true.
like I mean,
But I'm just thinking on the outcome of the match. If she's well, I don't really know if she's back full time or part time. I don't think it.
I want to see a difference in her character, and maybe what it is that she goes with some psychological warfare on Tiffany after this.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we see this match again at Backlash. I know I will because I'll be there. Um, but I just want to see because Charlotte matches are great. Her matches against Rhea, awesome. The last match she had with Rhea at WrestleMania was probably the best match from bell to bell on the card. She always brings it in the ring, and Tiffany does too. That's what I'm really excited about is watching these two who are similar to one another. Have this match, and I kind of want to see Charlotte kind of uh, take it to her. Like you may be athletic, but and you may be strong, but there's others. You got to be technically sound too. You
Yeah,
know.
she said in that interview, "I like to dance." I think.
Yeah, she likes to dance, so you better keep up. I think I personally want to see Tiffy win for the reasons being that I want to see a modification in Charlotte's uh not appearance, but who her character is. I want to see a little bit
Yep.
something different. I want to see what she can do. I'm
Yeah,
interested to see that.
I think Tiffany wins as well. I would not be opposed. Like I'm not one who, if Charlotte wins, if I was in Allegiant Stadium,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be somebody who would boo her out of the building for sure because
If she wants me to boo her, I'll boo her. I'll give her that
right.
respect. But I'm not going to be, oh, Charlotte won. Of course she won because Charlotte,
No,
super
yeah,
Charlotte. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be like that. If she
I'm
wins,
I'm going
it's
with
going to be a
Tiffany.
good match. Whoever wins.
Yeah, yeah. I think that one might be a. I don't know how you can call this big a match like it's going to steal the show, but I get any match can steal the show. So whether it's the main event or whatever, but this one reeks of it. So uh,
LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, U.S. Championship. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
uh,
Not what I mean. Not what I mean. No.
I think one of them has a big entrance as well.
I mean, that's like a whole. The entrances are like the commercials for the Super Bowl. Like what is it? What is it going to be? Who had the best entrance? Um, I don't know. I don't know what we'll see. I'm trying to think because Jacob Fatu is from the Bay Area. He's not going to get Metallica. That would be awesome, but he is uh, E40 maybe. No, I don't know. Is E40 still alive? I gotta look that up. I think Fatu is going to win this. Um,
Dude, I think he's gonna hurt LA Knight, and I'm probably just saying that because he's hurt like everybody else. But kind of like uh what's his name? Oh, it's bad that I can't remember his name. The guy who was coming out, he's on the DL now. Who was coming out and beating everybody up and jumping off the top rope.
oh, Bronson Reed.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's he's kind of since Bronson Reed has
I think
been
this
on
was
the
probably the
sideline. Jacob
Bronson Reed
Fatu,
path until he got hurt.
huh?
I think this was probably Bronson Reed's storyline until he got hurt.
Right. But I think Jacob Fatu hurts LA Knight. I think he wins the title. Just again interested to see what the bloodline of it all, if there's any tie-ins or
Just got to be
any
patient with all that.
shenanigans or references, and I'm assuming there will be. I just don't have a fantasy book on what I think specifically may happen. Some type of shenanigans, expecting won't be let down if it doesn't happen because Jacob Fatu's a fucking over monster who's going to put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, this is
But
good. I don't think neither of these dudes are going to get booed. They're both going to be cheered.
no,
There's
no.
going to be a lot of yas after every LA Knight offensive moves, and then there's going to be a lot of Fatu chants. I love you, Jacob. That's what we'll hear that a lot too.
Yeah, but in comparison to the last match we were talking about, the Tippy Time Charlotte match, this one is a little bit like I don't know who out there in the universe is saying, "Oh, L.A. Knight is going to squash Jacob Fatu. Or he's definitely going to win. There's no way Jacob Fatu wins." Everybody's like, the Samoan Werewolf is going home with maybe, I would assume with the gold. It seems like a waste of a title match for Fatu if he doesn't. But
Unless there's some shenanigans from Solo, him getting involved again and
right.
costing Jacob the match.
Well, and that's where they could keep the title on LA Knight and
Maybe Solo wins
really
it at the next SmackDown or something, and Jacob's like,
yeah
"What the
yeah
flip, dude?" Like,
yeah
so
for sure. But I've got Jacob Fatu this could be one where there's blood.
yeah, it'll probably be LA Knight's blood. Yeah.
Uh,
Main event time for night one. We got the triple threat. We got Roman Reigns, the OTC. We got CM Punk with Paul Heyman in his corner, and we got Seth freaking Rollins. What a great piece of, well, the vignettes that they've shown
yeah
for these have been phenomenal.
yeah
And then, uh, how about Seth Rollins last night in his own little coy little pipe bomb uh,
yeah. It was great.
promo that he did?
The
Yeah,
minute he sat down, I was like, okay, he's bringing it.
and he doesn't get affected. Like, people are going to chant CM Punk's name, yeah, and he's not going to tell them not to. And he still expects them to sing his song when it's time to sing his song. And they ended up singing his song at the end of the
Uh,
night, at the end of
that
that promo.
that's one thing that's great about Seth Rollins is he can just he will take whatever the crowd gives him and just kind of mold and bend them to his will, and
I
it's
would say
not
that it
even
hasn't
his
always been
it's
like
not even
that.
really his will. He almost bends to their
He
his
is
connection
definitely
with the
the
crowd is
he
fantastic.
is the third tier. Like, I would say Roman and CM Punk are like 1A, 1B, and Seth is number 2 in this match. You can argue that it's Punk, Reigns, Seth, but whatever order you do, whatever you order do, right now Seth he is he doesn't get cheered. He's not as over as Punk and Reigns. He's better in the ring than both of them. When the bell
Yeah,
rings, he's better than both of them. There's no debate about that. And Seth's Seth's probably my favorite wrestler right now in WWE. So I'm a little
I
biased.
think Seth wins. Um,
Yeah,
the,
I do
the
too.
Paul Heyman shenanigans, we got to figure out what that's going to look like, and nobody, we could talk for the next hour and a half about that, but I think Seth wins. There will be some kind of Paul Heyman shenanigans. I don't think Roman needs this win. I don't think he really at this point needs the Paul Heyman gimmick of it all for his character to move forward. Honestly, I think he needs to get some space between him and Paul Heyman to probably be good to continue to develop his character. The
You say
CM Punk,
develop, I would say.
huh?
Nah, I wouldn't use the word develop. His character's pretty set in stone.
Well, yeah, just to just to throw a wrinkle into what he has going on.
Yeah,
There's got to be some
yeah.
drama.
I I I don't I wouldn't I'm excited to see what the expectations are of Punk and of Roman when it comes to Paul Heyman. Like, if there's an opportunity in the match for Roman to think that Paul Heyman will help him here and he does not. And if there's a moment in the match where Punk is expecting to have Paul Heyman help and Paul Heyman's like, my favor to you was to be in your corner. I am not getting involved other than that. And I don't think he gets involved on Rollins' behalf either, because I think that's the seed that Rollins planted, is that both of these guys need you, and they abuse either your wisemanist, you as the wise man, they abuse you, or them saying that you are their best friend, they abuse that friendship. They are both toxic for you. And I think that's the seed that Seth has planted. I don't think we see Paul Heyman leave with Seth Rollins. I think what we see is that, oh shit, Punk and Roman kind of treat Paul like shit. And Seth wins because he's actually better than both of them. Or maybe they're so upset with Paul Heyman isn't giving them what they feel like they deserve. And that's when Seth capitalizes. And I think Seth wins. Bird.
That's gonna be crazy.
Move on to night two. You need to take a little break.
Yeah, let's take a little break, Elizabeth. Yeah.
All right, I'll pause it. When night, and we're back. All right, let's move on to night two. For some reason, Wayne decided to change his shirt. That is definitely not wrestling themed. I don't ever remember a Forrest Gump, Bubba Gump wrestler in any time.
Do you
But
see what this is?
yeah, it's the Crabber. That's what it was.
Mineral
The
strength seafood.
Crabber from
I'll
Panacea, Florida, brother.
I'll be enjoying their seafood dip this evening during WrestleMania, so I had to give them a plug.
All right. Night two. It is good seafood. Night two, AJ Styles, Logan Paul. I'm hoping this match. I think this match is going to be really good, honestly. Um,
I
wasn't much of a build, just, a couple of back and forths, got some celebrities involved. Uh, Logan Paul's obviously been working on a new finisher with the Hurricane. Yes, ma'am. No, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah. So AJ Styles, Logan Paul. The carrying cross of it all is there. Carrying cross saying, AJ, you better win to prove something. I don't really know. uh, I don't know who's going to win. I think this is a 50-50 coin toss. What do you got?
yeah, I think the same. Um, I think because of the caliber of performers these two guys are, it has the potential to be a banger, just a slapper of full of spots and whatnot. But
Anything you can do, I can do better.
yeah. I know that there's stuff online about how AJ Styles and oh you don't deliver at WrestleMania, and I'm not trying to discredit that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I mean he is a fantastic in-ring performer, and Logan Paul may not have the same amount of experience as AJ Styles, but he can still go, and he can go
He
for
does
real,
not.
for real.
It's not may not. He does not have the same amount
No,
of
he does not.
experience.
But he can still go. So you got two guys who can who can go, and I know there wasn't a whole lot of story, but again, maybe hopefully that's the plan because there wasn't a whole lot of story. So they're just going to let them off the leash, and if they can tear the house down, they'll tear the house down, and I can't wait to see it. Pause it.
Okay. So I'm gonna I'll pick AJ to win because a loss doesn't hurt Logan. A loss to Logan, I think would hurt AJ, but we'll see.
Yeah. Um. This one does not feel like some of the others where it's going to be this long string of matches. This kind of feels like a one and done, but I could see how they could build off of it, but
I think the story is whatever happens with Karrion Cross afterwards. Like not like after the match, but in the future on television.
yeah, yeah.
I want to see Karrion Cross in the ring more, and it was nice to see him in the ring last Monday.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He did good work in the Battle Royal.
So who do you got? Who are you picking?
I'm split. I'm going to go with Logan Paul.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Logan Paul and let them use. And I don't think he needs to win, but there's he keeps doing the throat slash. There's a potential. He has openly stated, I want to be with The Rock, aligned with The Rock. So, um, yeah, right. But no,
That's a good way to get heat on yourself the whole time if you're aligned with Logan Paul.
right. So I don't know. I'm going Logan Paul.
All right. Let's go to the Women's Tag Team Championship. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the Judgment Day versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. Um, I think this match. I'm going to start with. I pitched this to you a few days ago of Bailey and Lyra winning, and then them having a match for the Intercontinental title, and Bailey wins, just to see how that turmoil happens. I'm going to take that back. I want to see Lyra defend that Intercontinental Championship more often. Uh, to be what the IC Championship for the men is that workhorse title. I think we see Bailey and Lyra lose here to Liv and Raquel, and I think maybe we see maybe a little turn from Bailey, and that's going to give us this some matches between Bailey and Lyra, and ultimately Lyra coming out on top and seeing that maturation to the workhorse title that the women's IC title should be. So I got the Judgment Day winning this one.
Yeah, I was gonna echo every bit of that. I don't. I think you full steam ahead with Raquel and Liv and Bailey and Lyra. I think are about to start doing the dance with each other. They just got to get there, and they'll get on further down the road to that through this match somehow. I think like with the heelish glimpses from Bailey potentially, and but yeah, Judgment Day all the way.
Let's go to the Fatal Four Way Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah, that one's
Champion Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio. So we got two Judgment Day members in there who
so.
are already kind of at odds with each other. Go ahead.
I think Braun is in a very similar position as Gunther was. I think he is the least likely out of everyone in there to win this match, just based off of.
Not by a Steiner math that he had. Did you see that?
Uh,
His Steiner math? He did Steiner math yesterday.
Not see his Steiner match.
Yeah. It was you need to watch it. He has it according to his Steiner math, he has a 129.2% chance of winning this match.
He does. No, he, uh, he. I don't want to sound like pretentious or anything. And say he's outgrown that belt because he could, he could carry it for the next 6 months to a year and do great things. But I don't. He doesn't. Putting the strap on Dominic Mysterio would mean so much more than Braun retaining. Um, is there a potential New Day realignment or crumble with Finn and Dom? Absolutely, there always is. Uh, I think Dominic's the most likely to win. I think Penta second, Finn third, Braun fourth, and I'm going to go with Dominic. I'm going to pick Dom, and I also want him to win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Braun's the one that's going to take the pin here. Um,
Uh,
he'll be
no,
he'll be uh, taken out, a la thrown through a table. Well, maybe not through the table because they have those new reinforced tables, but maybe piles of chairs and ladders stacked on top of his body where he's kind of
sadly,
neutralized.
I think Finn eats it. I think sadly Finn eats the pin, and what's going to
You
make it
think
in?
Dom pins Finn? That would be cool. I would like to see. I agree. I have Dom winning this too, and I'm interested to see what the crowd reaction is throughout the match to see these. Because Dom, when he comes out, he is going to get booed because he's earned that, and people are used to doing that. But I wouldn't be surprised if those boos turn to cheers throughout the match as Dom gets some close finishes or what have you. I agree that I don't think Penta will eat the pin here. I don't think Braun will eat the pin. I think Finn eating the pin would be really cool. And I want to say like what Finn's doing, like he's he's the one getting Dom this more comforting reaction that I think is coming for Dom. Finn's doing that work, which I is just he's a pro, Finn Balor's awesome. Um,
Anything that can possibly happen to get us closer to seeing the demon again, I'm on board with it. So if Finn has to eat the pin, he can eat it. That's fine.
I,
I just want the demon.
retire the demon.
He's not
I'm
retired. He's coming
yeah,
back.
no, retire the demon. I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. They ruined it. They ruined it the last time they used it with Roman Reigns. It's who cares? I'm done with the demon. Besides, we have Aleister Black coming back, so
And
that's
the
we
demon's coming
already
back
have
for
a
him.
demonic type figure. Um, I will say if Braun loses, I can see him. If Jay ends up winning, I can see Braun and Gunther going at each other to determine who that next number one contender is.
Absolutely.
Braun being one of the only of the three people to ever defeat Gunther, Sammy, Braun, and Ilya Dragunov. And then if Jay wins, that'll be four. But I would like to see some Braun, some Gunther. Like that would be cool. Maybe we get a Braun, Gunther, Jay at SummerSlam triple threat. That would be cool. But I do think that
Maybe.
Braun is gonna move on to the upper card here. Uh,
Yep.
and I think I have Dom winning, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun because it all depends on one who he beats for that championship. If it's Finn, then there's obviously a great story there to tell. Because now you have Liv and Raquel tag champions if they retain, and Dom. Finn doesn't like you listen to Finn, you're gonna win. Is that true? Because we're champions. So that'll be fun. That dynamic. All right, you got anything else to throw in there before we move on to the next one?
No, just I hope Dom has a bitchin' entrance.
I'm trying to think. Maybe we'll hit some entrances at the end. We'll do like a quick little roll through of what could happen with their entrances. All right, Women's World Championship triple threat. Our champion Io Sky taking on former champ Rhea Ripley, and Elimination Chamber winner Bianca Belair. The story build up here is that Bianca and Rhea are the top dogs when it comes to the women's division, and they're totally acting like it, even though neither of them are champion. And Rhea's never beaten Io. I don't think Bianca's ever. No, Bianca. No, I don't think Bianca's ever beaten Io either because they. Who won Io versus Bianca when they had it at Backlash in Puerto Rico? Because Io was the face there, even though she was a heel in storyline. I think Io won. So I don't think either of them acting like them neglecting that Io is there when neither of them have beat them, I'm pretty sure, is just it's easy storytelling. It helps Io. Uh, this is helping Io supplant herself as on the same tier as those two, and I think this match is gonna be awesome. I really, really do. And I think Io retains. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, heavy hitters with EO. Um, very happy, happy for her to get this moment. I think she retains as well, but it's kind of based off of I don't think Rhea needs it. She doesn't, and Rhea doesn't. It's you can you can flip this and manipulate it so many different ways. Rhea doesn't have any real like even little flames of heat with anybody that I'm aware of. Like in the last month or two, she hasn't really been.
I mean, she's been the heel in this story.
Right, but she hasn't been beefing with anybody on the side, so you can't say. I would not say, "Oh, I think Rhea's going to win, and here's why she's going to win because there's this person lurking in the shadows who's going to get her on Monday or at Backlash or whatever." I just don't think there's anything for Rhea yet, and I don't think she needs it. Um, Again, I want Io Sky to win. Um, I worry if there's going to be, and I don't worry. I just am interested to see if there's going to be shenanigans or boil over from the Naomi Jade of it
I don't think
in the
Bianca
match.
takes the pin. I
If
think
it's
Rhea takes the pin. I think Rhea takes the pin because Bianca's. You heard Bianca say, "I've never been pinned at WrestleMania," so she's not eating that loss. It's gonna be
You
Rhea.
said you do think Rhea takes the pin, right?
Yeah, Rhea's gonna take that pin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so too. Um, unless you get Jade Naomi shenanigans that causes Bianca to take the pin,
No,
but
you
she's
can't do
never
that.
been pinned at
They've already
WrestleMania.
talked too much about Bianca being undefeated and or not pinned at WrestleMania. They can't. They're not. I don't think they're gonna do that. So, but we both have EO regardless.
And if Bianca wins, then it just adds more clout to the Jade Naomi thing, and then
That crowd might
not
boo
like
a lot
Rhea's
more if
going
Bianca
anywhere,
wins, though. If
huh?
Bianca wins, I mean, Bianca was getting boos at SmackDown
Yeah,
previous night,
they're
and they
gonna
didn't
boo if
seem like,
Charlotte wins too.
yeah, oh man,
So
yeah, we'll see.
I'm gonna take Io. I want Io to win, and I'll pick her to win.
Yeah, all
I
right.
confidently choose that. I can say that Rhea is not going to win. I say that with more confidence than I can say Io's going to win.
All right, main event. Oh, correction, street fight. Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. And this is it's gotten there's been a lot of social media stuff with Drew showing up, attacking Damian, Damian showing up, attacking Drew. I think this match is going to be fun. I think uh I think we might see it spill into the outside of the arena possibly. Maybe we
Yeah.
see it enter into a casino. Maybe we see someone go through a poker table or a craps table or a roulette table.
Get thrown
Maybe
into a pool.
yeah, maybe someone's eye gets jammed on the handle of a jack of a slot machine. We could see that. I think we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff go full gambit by throwing poker chips at each other. This match is going to be fun. I'll start with that. I think the fact that they've touted Damian Priest as being a street king, I think he is going to win. Um, and I, but I do think that we're going to see Drew insert himself into the upper card championship title picture sooner rather than later. Um, he has said that he predicted John Cena would turn and act the way he is. So without giving away my pick, I for the next match, I do think we're going to see some type of interaction between Drew and John Cena eventually. But with Damian Priest, um, I just think this is his type of match to win, and I think it's a way for Damian Priest to win in a stipulated match without the fans getting upset that Drew's getting overlooked. I think a street fight is a good way of doing that. Both of them are going to get the crap kicked out of them, but eventually Priest wins. But it's like both of you lost a year from your career because of this
For
match.
sure.
Yeah.
No, this one will be a lot of fun, and Damien's my boy, and I do think he's going to win. But I think ultimately Drew McIntyre will win as well because of this, because it will. You know, he's. I don't see him taking a step back. Like he can eat whatever this loss looks like and still be Drew McIntyre and still be right there at the top of the card. Um, Yeah, I think I want Damian Priest to win, and I think he's going to, and that's fine. Drew
I'm interested to see
McIntyre.
where Damian Priest goes after this. Maybe we can see if Jacob Fatu wins. Maybe we can see some Drew Jacob Fatu
Yeah.
action. But at the same time, will Drew? Well, not Drew. Damian Priest versus Jacob Fatu for that United States title. I'd like that because what that does is that's a former world champion in Damian Priest going against Fatu. That's a way to get Fatu even up into that echelon because I think Fatu's a future world champion. Um, but I'd like to
Are
see.
Damian Priest and Braun Breaker on the same show? Okay, well,
All right, main event. Our champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, taking on 16-time world champion John Cena.
yeah. Uh, I think it. I think Cody's going to lose. He he's gotten his two crossroads in already. He'll probably get three or four more in before he loses, but still, I think Cody's going to lose, and I like to see John Cena win just because I think the story that they're telling. If John Cena loses,
Where do they go if he loses? What's
yeah, I just
I
think
think
with
it does
him
Cody a lot of
making
good.
those statements of I'm taking this title and I'm taking it home. Um,
Well, Randy doesn't want you to take it home.
no, no, but he's got
AJ
to
Styles
have it.
doesn't want you to take it home.
Yeah, basically he threw down the gauntlet to the entire locker room for if he wins that belt, anybody with reverence for the business in kayfabe for sure, like Randy Orton, is going to be breathing down his neck, and I think it's a much, I don't want to say easier story to tell, but it's one that it almost writes itself, and they can figure out where the wrinkles are.
Yeah. So last night at SmackDown, John Cena, he, he started with the crowd on his side. There were a lot of boos for Cody. There were a lot of cheers for Cody too. There were a lot of boos for John Cena. There were a lot of cheers for John Cena as well. But when John finished his portion, they were booing Cody hard, like really really hard, and he just dug his heels in, produced, and just ripped Cena. And by the end of that promo, that I didn't hear any boos. And I do think with the two crossroads, Cody getting his licks in when it comes to that mic on mic work. I think he's proven himself to be the baby face of WWE. But I also think that a loss would help him even more cement himself as the baby face of WWE. I think Cena wins. I think we see The Rock. I think we see Travis Scott. Do we see Stone Cold? He was in town yesterday for the introduction of his match with Bret Hart from WrestleMania 13. Maybe. Maybe coming out to help Cody, but I think eventually Cena wins, and I think Cody may be gone for a few months. He deserves a break, but I think it does him well in the growth of his story as the face of baby face of WWE. And I think John Cena wins. And what we get at the end of the night, I don't know.
Dealer's choice,
Yeah,
no
it'll
pun
be fun.
intended.
But yeah, yeah, dealer's choice. Um, we didn't mention who we think Randy Orton's going to go against. Is it Nick Aldis? Is it returning Aleister Black or Rusev? Honestly, I don't want. I wouldn't want to have Alistair or Rusev return, Miro return if it's just a lose to Randy Orton. I mean, losing to Randy Orton is not a bad thing. Going against Randy Orton at WrestleMania is really, really cool. But debut or re-debuting, I don't think they should lose on a re-debut. That's just But maybe Nick Aldis. If Nick Aldis is like, oh yeah, I'll wrestle him, and he loses, okay, I can roll with that. Or if he introduces a re-debuting of the two gentlemen that I mentioned, and Nick Aldis screws Randy Orton over,
Right.
that's something also. Maybe Nick Aldis is the third man with The Rock and John Cena. You know, I don't know. So let's do who of the wrestlers on both nights, and you can name more than one. Who do you think has some type of live performance from a band or an artist for their entrance?
Jey Uso.
And who's the one that performs it?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you failed
I didn't know I had to pick.
it. Why would Jey Uso have one? He's the one that sings the song. Do you think he's going to come out and sing it? I don't know why I hold him
Oh
up.
no,
He wouldn't have much.
I think Jey Uso, and maybe not on night one. If you start night two, if he wins the title on night one, he may have a live performer come out with him for Yeet Mania at the beginning of night two.
Maybe. Okay.
Um, John Cena's not. Cody's not. I
CM
mean,
Punk won't. Oh,
Colt's
CM.
personality could.
Yeah, Living Color being there to perform would be awesome. CM Punk is adamant about never wanting pyro, which is fine. But if he can get Living Color out there to sing Cult Personality, that would be really freaking cool. There's
Right.
rumors that Slayer might perform at WrestleMania, and they have a
Okay.
song called The Bloodline. So
God.
maybe we get like an orchestra with Slayer playing Roman Reigns entrance
Yeah,
into
that'd be
the
so gnarly.
that would be pretty cool. Um, I'm trying to think who else.
What about Bad Bunny? Do you know if he's in town?
I do not. Is he going to play El Grande Americano's entrance?
That's what I'm talking about. Or maybe
um,
Logan Paul gets Machine Gun Kelly out there.
that would be some heat.
Yeah.
Maybe we get I can't down straight to play Cody Rhodes live entrance in. That would be cool. Um, I don't really like the guys that do Rhea Ripley's when they performed hers at last year's WrestleMania. I think they didn't sound that good live. Maybe it's different because that was an open air stadium in Philadelphia. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Damian Priest can get somebody because he's a huge metalhead. That would
Yep.
be cool. Maybe we get Bubba Sparks to do AJ Styles. Ain't
I would
one
be
none.
I'd be
'Cause
so
ain't
happy.
nobody better than that redneck.
I would be so happy.
But I'm interested to see. I mean, what the stage looks like. I think I saw a picture. I wasn't sure if that was a real image of what the stage entrance looks like. But it's Vegas, so they got to put on some kind of glitz, glamour show uh, type atmosphere.
I'm
It's gonna be really
so excited, not only for tonight, but to go to this next year.
cool. Yeah, Nolan's next year.
We're gonna have to work on the logistics for that, because it's not just like, what are we gonna? Are we fully immersing? Are we Wally Mania? Are we SmackDown? Are we Raw? Are we?
I would say Wally Mania for sure because that's on the Thursday before Smack. I think we should go to watch parties for SmackDown and Raw, and then actually attend both nights of WrestleMania.
I have to. I have to find one of those IV stations for us so we can.
We just got to
So,
find medics. Just be friends with medics because they
okay,
always
be
got that
friends
on.
with
Yeah,
medics.
yeah,
I need a bag.
yeah. Hey, you got the IV?
Hook
Hey.
it up.
All right,
Yeah.
so WrestleMania will start today. This was a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to change my name here at the bottom because I don't want to be known as 22 Keys 524 PN la 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 la. But this was fun, and maybe
Yeah,
we'll do
man.
after maybe we'll do some reaction after both nights of WrestleMania. Maybe we save it for the Monday night after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Just because I'm sure there's going to be some chaotic type fallout and beach balls galore in Las Vegas there in the T-Mobile Center for T-Mobile Arena for WrestleMania. But Wayne, you got anything? Got anything else?
No, we'll dig into post production on these as we make them and get that all sorted out and smooth smooth it out. But yeah, I'm gonna get out here and do Sprinkler Beach with the little one so that when it comes time to for the pre-show to start here in I think 55 minutes, 54 minutes, I'll be ready and locked in. And I've got that chicken, sausage, and shrimp gumbo that's about to go out of the fridge onto the stove to reheat. And yeah, yeah. So I'm excited, and I'm excited to get to learn how to use this Mixcast too.
Oh, yeah.
I wanna be
Well,
bop da ba.
Perry Wayne, I'm Adam. We're wrestle buddies, buddies for life. Take it easy.
Muchas.